Just a non-scripted video here. So I'm sitting here reading about control and abuse from Psychology Today, written by uh, Carol McBride with a PhD. What is gaslighting and are you a target? I remember so many times that, I don't know, Faith would, or somebody would send me a forwarded screenshot of, um, her just pitching a fit about you're controlling and manipulative and you're gaslighting me and just being the, I don't know, character that I am. uh you know Gosh, am I those things? So then you go and let's go talk to a psychiatrist. Let's go get counseling. Let's double check that because hash brown soccer dad, hash brown family man, whatever. I don't want to be guilty of those things. Gosh, I don't want to be doing that. Um, and then, of course, you realize, hey, Brad, you really need to pick your head up out of the sand, um, and go get some self-esteem back. Because when she says stuff like he's controlling, you know, nobody's really going to have the courage to actually walk up to, Susie, Sally, soccer mom, victim, damsel in distress, and say something healthy and appropriate like, hey, Faith, you're claiming that he's controlling. Okay, sure, fine, no problem. Can you tell us how it is that he controlled you? Did he control your, did Brad control the money, uh, cards? Um, you know, did you have access to both Chase accounts? Did he control the phone? Did he control the communication? Because don't forget, this person is trying to convey, um, this victim image of, this guy's falling, woe is me. Let me discredit this guy. Let me make sure that you don't believe anything except what I tell you to believe. That's kind of an overwhelming theme. And so I'm sitting here reading this going, wow. True narcissists are not accountable for their own bad behavior. It's common for them to blame others and make it someone else's fault. They use denial, accusation, misdirection, and lying to throw you off base. And then, down here later in this article, it says, what I started doing. But it's just interesting. I don't want to say guys and make it like a gender war, but it seems like a lot of articles talk about narcissism in light of, I mean, there's some on here that talk about narcissism and, you know, mom, or narcissism and a woman. But for, a lot of it is, I guess, just under the assumption that, some narcissistic attributes only apply to guys. And what I'm finding out is that that's not, I mean, that's obviously not true. You don't have to have having a character doesn't, having character isn't dependent on do you have a penis or a vagina. I mean, that just that's not how it works. Um, And it's good to document abuse. You know, the app that was on the Dr. Phil show that Robin talked about a few years ago, guess what? That app works whether you have a penis or a vagina. Yeah, don't tell anybody, but that app will still work. You can still download it. And if you are trusting your instincts and your spidey senses are tingling, and you think that, oh crap, she's about to do something dumb. Okay, I can almost see the amygdala going off the charts. I can watch her body language. I can hear her voice, tone, speed, pitch. Um, it's time for the, you know, PTSD, rage, psychosis, separation from reality episode, whatever it's called. It's okay to be a dude and document abuse. I don't quite think that's being said enough, and I think it should be. Um, when you document abuse, the other person really, if somebody is clinically, you know, by way of definition, not by way of, I'm just gonna call you names because I heard them, and yeah, that's what you are. Because I can get everybody to believe me, and I am charming and manipulative, and I found a new word. It's called narcissism, and that's what you are. We're not talking about narcissism, narcissistic, um, in any of that way. We're talking like, you know, let's just use let's use the word the way it's supposed to be used in light of a definition of behavior, not I got a new name and I'm going to call you this name because now it's trending on the hash browns of the tweeters of the Instagramville pin post, whatever. If you're dealing with somebody who has narcissistic um, behaviors and tendencies, I don't want to be a prick at all and say that, you know, you should ever explore and attempt to go beyond just the behavior and ask why. But it is good to at least love and care about the person enough to say, look, this is gaslighting, this is narcissistic. You know, nobody is. Nobody is. You know, your kids are not being kidnapped or abducted. Aubrey, Alexis, and Caitlin are not being kidnapped or abducted at church, and they're you know, as of March, April, you know, they're still kind of new to um, understanding all of this fun faith fiasco stuff, you know. But that whole the girls are going to be abducted, kidnapped. Oh my goodness, Henny Penny, woe is me. This guy's falling. Help, you know, blah 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 blah. Brad, did you just say blah blah? Yes, I said blah 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 blah. Because had somebody chosen to take more a more even approach to handling things, you know, they would have had somebody else share with them. Hey, look, this has been going on since 2012. I do think that I still think that, you know, there should be some level of intervention. Either, I mean, it's going to have to happen now legally, but there probably should have been some earlier social intervention that said, "Hey, look, um, this doesn't sound right. Something isn't working out with these stories. They're a little bit too grandiose, over the top. some of these just aren't adding up. Everything in the world has to be, Brad's fault. And again, the why behind the behavior matters. And I can't tell you how many countless times I've actually defended Faith. Do what? You's going to defend her? Yeah, I know. Let it go ahead and sink in as a social norm, abnormal and totally off the wall thing. But yeah, I'm gonna defend her. If she were to go get help, which, or things have to be done legally. I mean, not that they're done illegally. Things have to be done within the legal realm at this point. Unfortunately, but I do think some of this could have been curbed. Um, Denial, accusations, misdirection, lying to throw, throw a person off base. Same thing she did with the safety squad. You know, some of the rotations there of the safety squad at Pathway are fully 100%. I'm sorry, 100% gullible and easily manipulated by gossip. Um, and that's unfortunately very documented, very well documented. But it sucks to say, hey, these are narcissistic behaviors, ma'am. Oh, you're narcissistic. Okay, let me go to, actually go to see the psychiatrist. Um, Make sure that I am giving complete and total transparency to the accountability partners. I don't want to ever have an enabler in my life that would enable me to not have, good quality, solid family values and a crappy home life. Um, but it's interesting to read, actual defining behaviors and mindsets of narcissism and say, hey, look, Faith, you realize that you just scared the out of the girls for the 85th time, and the girls got. It's sad. I was about to say this and realized how sad it literally sounds coming out. The girls got used to it. Aubrey, Alexis, and Caitlin knew what the safe phrases were. Um, but it's sad that when you go to try to dissolve and diffuse an explosive situation, ma'am, take a deep breath, look around. What do you see? What do you hear? Smell something familiar, feel something familiar, get your cognitive senses, back into reality of this moment. The girls aren't being kidnapped. You know, your dad hates you. Your dad's out of control. Brad is, all of you girls annoy him and he hates you. Damn, Faith. Could you, could you please go apologize to the girls? No! That's what happened. Okay, so if I click record and document everything that was said, like literally these are the actual words, okay? Because right down here it says, if you think you are a victim of gaslighting, here are 5 suggestions. Number 1, Keep a journal and write down a narrative of what you experience and feel. Keep a damn journal. I write enough as it is. Grab the phone, click record, either the camera or the voice microphone thing. And then you go back and you say, hey, look, can we have proper reconciliation? Can we make this situation right? Can we, help bring some correct healing? And this happened a couple of times at first, and beyond that, it was, the girls were used to it. I especially remember that the most recent, outbreak episode, whatever you call it, of it wasn't the it was the it was another, the girl's going to be kidnapped and abducted. It's interesting to go back and listen to that one, and literally, you got to type it up for the lawyers and all that crap. But I was typing it up, and Faith, girls, get in the van. Faith, the van has no brakes. And then, later in the video, it was like 30 seconds later, you can hear Caitlin screaming, girls, do not get in the van, get in the Suburban and sit down. Even the girls can recognize, hey, Mom, the van doesn't have any brakes. We're not being kidnapped. We're not being abducted. Brad and his raised on Dr. Phil and Dr. Dobson parenting skills. The girls knew it was safe. Every time that happened, or similar episodes. But what I think it's sad, Number 2, talk through your experiences with a trusted friend or therapist. Okay, no problem. And I want to, I still, even after the fact, I want to know what it is I could have done better. I want to know what it is that I did wrong. And what could I have changed? And so after going to, talking with non-enablers, and having, actual, I don't have to relive my point of view. I don't have to recount what I thought or felt. Literally, you click play. Well, she said that you broke up with her, and that this is there it is in July where I said, hey, look, we need to go to therapy, or we need to break up for a while. We need to have some separation. We need to have some boundaries, or we need to go to therapy. No, that's not what happened. It's right. It's right there. I'm sorry. It's good to document abuse. Number 5 says, learn to set boundaries and stop abuse. Number 4 says, learn to set boundaries and stop abusive comments on the spot. I remember sitting in church one day, and she was just reaming me. Oh, she was over there she's talking to Jane, and then I'm over on that side. So she's over here talking to Jane. I tap her leg because I need to ask her if she wants anything to drink before church starts. Hey, babe. Are you talking to me again? I'm like, look. don't deserve this. And I walked out and I watched the rest of the sermon in the lobby. Woo, boy, howdy, did that piss her off to no end. I don't know how long that went before. No, you don't get, there is no break in hearing about something. It's harbored forever. I I could not. It's just amazing. Hey, look, I don't deserve to be talked to like I'm some scumbag. You don't have to blow sunshine up my ass, but dude, I was just gonna ask you a question real quick. I even waited until you and her were done talking. Learn to set boundaries and stop abusive comments on the spot. And when you have boundaries and the other person blows through them like a steamroller, um, that should say something. And I think as people, we need to understand the difference between that's a reflection of me versus that's a reflection of you. I've really gotten to the point where I'm okay with realizing, you know, hey, when I said "fuck," God, make it stop. That was a reflection of me. I dropped an f bomb. Um, I'm spent. I'm exhausted. I can, uh, you know, I shouldn't have done that. You know, dropping an f bomb is horrible. It's bad. Okay, I feel like crap. Okay, well, does the other person have that same self awareness? You know, does the other person have that cognitive capacity? Either it's they have the capacity to do it or they don't. One of the two. Can the other person ever say, you know what? I'm sorry. I turned and bit your head off. I can empathize and listen to what you're saying, not some delusion creeping up, from 3.5 decades of chronic trauma. But I can actually be in the moment, remember what was said and what was not said, and I'm sorry. Either that happens or it doesn't. And when it doesn't happen and somebody starts, gaslighting the living piss out of you. No, that's not what you said. It's recorded right here. Dear God, the freaking the cameras are in the church. I mean, if you, yeah, there's me right there walking away from the situation, getting away from, uh, you know, stop abusive comments on the spot. If you've got somebody that is just in absolute, complete, and total, if it's anything that I don't want you to know about, or anything I don't want anyone else to know about, or anything that I don't agree with, or if it's anything that has any negative light on me at all, if it's anything that I should be accountable for, and anything that you have like DNA video proof of with hair samples, then I'm just gonna not acknowledge it. I don't need to apologize. I just I don't need to apologize because it didn't even happen. Oh God. Yeah, that's that is what happened. I'm sorry. You don't get to gaslight me. You can call me that and then, well, turn around and do it. That's just weird. You know, I think just by nature, you're gaslighting me. Well, thank you for telling me what I'm doing. Wait, what's the definition again? You're like, okay. We can all have different perceptions and experience in life. We can disagree with others about perceptions. This is not gaslighting. Remember that gaslighting is used to purposefully benefit the person doing it and to hurt the other person. Gaslighting is psychologically and emotionally abusive. If it's happening to you, find a way to get help and remove yourself from the situation immediately.